Is this the best survival tool ever made? Is that the best survival tool ever made? I would have to go with that. It's hard to argue with a knife. Is that the best survival tool ever made? Those points are all debatable, and we'll discuss that in the future. But the reason we're here today is to discuss this, what I think is a very, very well made and important survival tool. This is the Gamo Whisper Fusion Pro Elite, and it is an air rifle, a 177 caliber air rifle capable of speeds up to 1,300 feet per second. And it is going to allow you to put meat on the campfire silently, which is going to be a very important thing in any WROL or SHTF, whatever you prefer to call it, situation. It's going to be very important to put meat on the campfire silently as to not give away your position. I bought this rifle for Christmas for my 15-year-old son, and it was, you could say, one of those Christmas presents that I really wanted to get for myself, but I made excuse in my head to get it for my son. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I have enjoyed this immensely. But so has he. So it was a good rifle for both of us. Good present. And we've had a lot of fun with it. When we first got it home, we were excited to shoot it, and we took these Gamo PBA Platinums out. They got a profile like that right there. We took one of those outside, and I live in a neighborhood, and we took it outside and we shot it, and it was very loud. It sounded like a 22, and I was like, holy crap, we're gonna get the police called on us. So we put it up and we waited until the next day, and I was excited, woke up in the morning like a little boy ready for his Christmas, and I put this scope on it that did come with the rifle, and I put this scope on it and started sighting it in. Well, I started sighting it in with these Gamo lead pellets, and their profile is nearly the same, but it's just made out of lead. And when I shot it, I noticed that it wasn't as loud. It was quiet, like a normal air rifle. It's like, well, what's going on? And I sighted it in with the lead pellets all day long because I didn't want to get. I did. After I put another one of those PBA Platinums in there, one of those right there, and shot it just to see if something was going wrong. And sure enough, it was real loud, like a 22 again. So I proceeded to sight the rifle in my backyard with the lead pellets. I got it dialed in, and it took me till that night to figure out what was going on. And the speed of sound is around 1,050 feet per second. All three of these here are around 1,225 to 1,300 feet per second. Therefore, they are breaking the speed of sound. The lead comes in at 850 feet per second, and therefore it's subsonic. It's not breaking the speed of sound. What you're doing is you're actually getting a miniature sonic boom with these pellets right here, and you're getting a whip crack sound like a 22 rifle. And that is why when you shoot a rifle with a suppressor, you want to use subsonic ammunition, because obviously if you're trying to be quiet, you don't want that your bullet, your projectile, breaking the speed of sound and causing a rifle whip crack, as I like to call it. So yeah, it's funny. I mean, it took me a whole day to figure out what was going on, but that's what was going on. I have a lot better accuracy with the lead ones, and the lead ones seem to penetrate a lot deeper. But over here, we've got the Daisy Red Ryder, which I would suggest that every parent school their children on proper use of firearms with a Red Ryder. And you do that, and your kid will grow up being a responsible gun owner. And then here, I have what I grew up with, this Crossman 760 Pump Master. It went everywhere with me throughout my childhood, and I annihilated a lot of squirrels with that rifle. and it comes in around 650 feet per second, and that's minimum what I would use to take small game. Unless I was absolutely starving, then I might try to do it with the Red Ryder, but you'd have to be like point blank. This right here is 10 to 15 yards, 15 yards max, but you're going to miss just as many as you hit with that rifle right there. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, $50 price tag, $250 price tag. So this may be more of a survival weapon for a lot of you guys out there. But if you can afford it, go out and get one of these. Some of the specs on this rifle is it's got an overall length of 44.7 inches. It weighs 6.6 pounds. It's a 177 caliber air rifle, obviously. It's a break barrel action, which you guys will get to see later. It's got a 18-inch polymer jacketed rifled barrel. What I call a suppressor, they are calling a double integrated noise dampening system, which comes in at 86 decibels, which they claim is quieter than their competition. But I like to point out what they really did to separate themselves from the competition is this SAT, which stands for Smooth Action Trigger System. If you're used to shooting air rifles with triggers like this, you know that air rifle triggers suck really bad. This actually feels like a real rifle trigger. I mean, it's really, really nice. Got a smooth pull, and it's also adjustable. You can adjust it with a little wrench. It's got a 11 millimeter dovetail rail for mounting your optics. It's got a manual safety right here, close to your finger. That's pretty ergonomic, so you don't have to take your hand off while you're looking at your prey. And you can just operate it right there like that. It's got fiber optic iron sights, a hooded iron sight. I don't know if you guys can see that little red dot in there, but it's a nice little fiber optic sight there. And then it's got two little green dots on the rear iron sight. So the iron sights are adjustable as well. You've got windage and elevation adjustable ability on it. So the iron sights are real nice. It's got a all-weather synthetic stock, which I don't know if any of you have ever had this happen, but it has happened to me. Stuck out all day in a rainstorm with a wooden stock 1022, and lo and behold, a day and a half, 2 days later, when my rifle stock dried out, it cracked, and I was pretty sad kid. So that's nice for all weather, especially if you're calling this a survival rifle. I mean, obviously you could be out there for a real long time in a survival situation, so it's going to hold up to the elements nicely. It's got an adjustable cheek rest, which is great for when you have the optic on there to raise your point of view there, and I raise it up for when I have the optic and lower it for when I'm shooting irons. And then it's got a recoil pad. I know a lot of you are probably laughing now. You're like, how much recoil can an air rifle put out? But it actually puts out enough, it's about like a 22. And I mean, that's laughable, right? But that's not what Gamo claims that it's for. They claim that the recoil pad is to help with accuracy. It's not to aid when your comfort, because it's not kicking real hard. And by the time the pellet reaches the end of the barrel, I guess they figure if it's recoiling against your shoulder, it can get jarred and knocked off course. So that's supposed to help with accuracy. And then finally, it's got the 3 to 9 by 40 scope, and it probably needs some adjustment. It's been knocked and beat around, moved from closet to closet around the house. But when I did initially sight it in, it was a tack driver at 30 yards. I haven't taken it out past 30 yards. I plan to. I'll do a video on it just to see how accurate and what you can take with these air rifles at what distances. But right now, up to 30 yards within, it's dead little critter. And another reason why I got this rifle was because I had a woodpecker eating my house. And I've got holes all over my house, and I got this, and needless to say, that woodpecker is no longer with us. He was wasted at 30 yards, and I wasted him with a PVA Platinum, and it went completely through him, buried up in the wood behind him, and dropped him instantly. So that's the only game that I've taken with this yet. I plan on taking lots of squirrels, hopefully do a video on it. But anyway, today we're going to be testing this rifle on we're going to be doing some penetration tests, and I bought some chicken breasts, some large chicken breasts, which I think are going to replicate the density of a squirrel quite nicely. And we'll test these different pellets out on them and see what the damage it does to it, and hopefully try to capture some of the pellets and see if the pellets spread or anything, and have some fun. Maybe we'll find a few other things to shoot too, some tin cans, and no telling. But anyway, stay tuned. Thank you. Bye. Okay, welcome back. We're testing out the Gamo Whisper Fusion Elite and Pro something. Anyway, I told you guys earlier that I was gonna get some chicken breasts to do some penetration tests on to replicate the density of a squirrel. Downrange, right there, we have our chicken breasts taped to a box with a pillow stuffed in the box, hopefully to capture the pellets. And I've got the GoPro set up right next to it, so hopefully we can get some decent GoPro slow motion footage of the penetration. But we're going to compare it to the Crosman 760 Pump Master. And one of the first things I wanted to point out to you guys is the benefits of the Gamo compared to this in a survival situation. We're talking about being silent, right? Well, check this out. Not too silent, is it? No. First shot. I got one on the left and one on the right. I'm going to shoot the one on the left with the Crosman 760 Pump Master. I think I shot right between them. I'm going to reshoot that. Now the distance on this gun isn't very good either. Now I am shooting lead pellets. That sounded like a hit. Now I'm going to demonstrate how much better this would be in a survival situation. Let me get my lead pellet out. There you go. It's a lot quieter than the crack, crack, crack. Okay, I will shoot the one on the right. Much more accurate too. I believe that was a hit. Now, I'm going to demonstrate one more thing to you guys before we go up and check out the damage on the meat. But I'm going to shoot a lead pellet. I don't know if you can hear the difference of this, but listen. Okay. Now I'm going to shoot. Now that's coming in around 850 feet per second. Now I'm going to shoot a Gamo ballistic tip, which comes in at supersonic speeds, 1,250. See if you guys can hear the difference. Once again, lead. And a supersonic.
much different. But join me, we'll be back in a minute. Back again. I didn't like the placement on the chicken breast, so I'm going to take a couple more shots, and I'm also going to try some of the supersonic rounds. They're not going to be supersonic in the Crossman, but I'm going to give it a fair shake with that too. And so here we go. Let's try a lethal out of both the Gamo and the Crossman. So first up, a lethal out of the Gamo. Okay. Did you see that? I was wanting to do brake barrel on the Crossman. We will try a lethal on the Crossman. Never tried one of these in here. Here we go. That didn't sound good at all. It sounded really slow. So, stick with the good old lead inside the Crossman. Bear with me here. Okay. Here we go. Okay. We'll go down there and have a look. We're back, everyone. The right side was the Gamo, the left side was the Crossman. The first shots were both with lead, and I'm pretty sure that this right here was the first shot with the Crossman with a lead pellet. It may have been a complete mess. I know I had these here that hit in the middle, so I reshot those. I think I hit there first with the lead on the Crossman. This was my second lead shot, and I think I totally missed with the lethal. Over here, this was lead with the Gamo, and then this hole right here, I don't know if you guys can tell that on the camera because it's not focusing, but that was with the lethal, and I can almost see all the way through that chicken breast. So it leaves a much bigger, what appears to be a much bigger wound cavity than the lead pellets. So anyway, let's cut these birds loose here. These birds that are going to replicate our squirrels, and turn them over. This one will be the Crossman. And yes, there is our first exit hole with the lead. And here's our second exit hole with the lead. The exit wounds are much bigger than the entrance wounds, like always. But if you look at the lethal on the Gamo, the entrance wound is almost as big as the exit wound on the Crossman. So I'm pretty excited to see what it looks like when we turn it over. And wow, impressive. That is all of that right there is basically the exit wound from the lethal. So now I understand why they call them lethals. Here, oh, where is it? Let me flip it back over. Where are you? Okay, Yeah, right there is the first lead pellet that I shot with the Gamo. Try to find the oh, there we go. The exit to that is right there. But yeah, I think the most impressive is that wound cavity right there from that lethal load. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put both of them together, and we will try to shoot through both of them with the Gamo. Be back in a second. Okay, we're back. I've taped 2 chicken breasts together to make them thicker, and the wound cavity on these PBA or these Gamo lethals is the most impressive. So we're going to continue to use those, and we're going to go through 2 chicken breasts, which is easily thicker than a squirrel. So here we go. All right. Direct hit. The weapon on safe. I'll be back. Okay, everyone. 2 chicken breasts taped side by side. The Gamo entrance is right there. Cut loose our replicated squirrel. Have to wash my hands when we're done here. There's our entry. There's our big old huge exit that these lethals, we've already seen it make. It appears that that would be the entry right there on the back, the chicken breast on the back side. And right there is the exit. So, will it kill a squirrel? Most likely, yes. Let's see if we can't cut one of these open. I'll be right back. I just wanted to demonstrate something. These are the entrance wounds. I can stick my finger in them easily, and that's a 177 caliber pellet gun. So I mean, that's the wound channel that it's, oh, I'm sorry, I just stuck it in the exit wound. There's the entrance right there, but the exit easily accepts my finger, and on this one I go in the entrance and it goes all the way through. So pretty impressive wound channel for a 177 caliber pellet rifle. I'm gonna see if we can't get some of these pellets that we've captured inside the box and be back with you in a minute. Okay, everyone, here's our pellets that we recovered. These 2 right here are the lethals. This one actually went all the way through the chicken breast into the box, buried up into the pillow, and you can see it's got that cloth stuck on it, but no real deformity for the lethals, and they leave a huge impressive wound channel. These are actually 2 pointed Crossman pellets. They deformed quite well, but I mean, nothing spectacular. And then these are the lead PBAs. No real deformities, you know, nothing that's going to cause, you would think would cause an extreme wound channel. But the lethals, I can stick my entire index finger in. So there you go.